We are very pleased to have Datuk Chin Chiki, the chairman of the Association of Trust Companies in Labuan, with us today to discuss about the development of the jurisdiction, the 30 years that it's been around, and also the development in the trust and corporate service provider space vis-a-vis Labuan, which has seen significant growth. Datuk, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate you allocating some time for us. And you are one of the stalwarts in Labuan, you know. I mean, you've been around for, you've been active in Labuan since the very beginning, if I'm not mistaken.
One of the pioneers, yes, still surviving.
And growing and thriving, probably. I wanted to just come back to the report that we had recently launched, the 2019 numbers, and how, you know, we've had actually a growth in the number of trust and corporate service providers in Labuan. And clearly, you know, although a lot of people are looking at the developments and the growth in, let's say, the insurance and the banking industry, and let's say the growth in captives, to me personally, the way I look at Labuan is, you know, a growth in the agency force, as it were, the people that are offering Labuan, is vindication of the jurisdiction. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about how you see the growth in your industry and what it means to the jurisdiction.
I'm very happy to learn that after 30 years, the number of trust companies has grown to 61. Now, this is a show of confidence and trust now for the jurisdiction. Now, Labuan IBFC has, in fact, implemented all the international standards and norms, such as AMLA, legislation, PEPS, CRS, and also economic substance requirement. Now, because of this, I think people are having very good impression of Labuan being an international business financial center. And that's why more people are coming to Labuan to set up their businesses. And this, in fact, also bring in a number of trust company along with it. Again, I think this is a good prospect, a good recognition that Labuan is the premier mid-shore center for the Asia-Pacific region.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, the profitability of Labuan Trust companies has been increasing over the years. So, you know, that would probably explain why more people are interested in it. And of course, the jurisdiction itself is growing, even though there was a lot of skepticism in the beginning in 2019 because of the new substance requirements that we have imposed. But actually, would you or would you not agree that it's been quite positive for the jurisdiction?
Yes, it is very positive for jurisdiction. I think for 2019, it is a little bit of hiccup because there was certain uncertainty in the economic substance requirement regulations. And I think this is now slowly being cleared up. And with the certainty that we have in Labuan, I think business will be good from now onwards. Now, Labuan is the only jurisdiction in the Asia-Pacific region with preferential tax and also compliance with all the international standards. Now, with this type of certainty, I think businessmen can come in and know what they want. As long as they want to set up Labuan company, which are under the prescribed 23 categories of the economic substance requirements, then I think they only pay 3% tax or nothing at all if you're carrying on investment holding activities. I think this is still very attractive. It's still it's more attractive than Singapore or even Hong Kong. And with Hong Kong facing a little bit of problem here and there, I think people will start looking at Labuan more. And I'm very positive about that.
Yes, and that's what we found as well in our market development work, that Labuan is getting a lot more traction. And, you know, once the intermediaries like yourself and your peers come in, then really there will be a wider market for us. Dato', The Association of Trust Companies has been around for 25 years. The jurisdiction has been around for 30. You have been the chairman of the association for quite a number of years, of these 25 years, and you've seen it grow. What are your aims for the association, and how do you think the association, together with the regulator, can play a more cohesive role in developing the jurisdiction even further?
Now, after 25 years, I think last year we have initiated the amendments to our constitution. The amendments to the constitutions will provide for disciplinary actions against the member, especially when the FSA has mandated that each and every trust company that are licensed in Labuan has to be a member of the association. So we are waiting now for the approval now to discipline, the members when required. This, with the disciplinary power that we're going to have, I think the most of the members will behave. If not, if they are removed as members of the association, then they will also be deregistered as a licensed entity by the FSA. Now, over the 25 years, the association actually has grown concurrently with the growth in the trust company. We now have about 60 members, and I'm very happy that the members are working together to bring informations and so on to the members as well. We also interact and exchange information. Now, more importantly is that the association over the 25 years has accumulated quite a substantial amount of funds, and we intend to use the funds for training the staffs of the members. As the membership grow in the Labuan trust industry, I think professionalisms and skill need to be upgraded so that the jurisdiction's reputation can be maintained. And that's why we are going to spend more money on carrying on seminars and trainings to the members to upgrade their professionalisms and also their knowledge. And we want to do this in collaboration with Labuan IBFCs and also maybe with FSA in order to improve the standards of the trust officers as well as the staffs of the trust companies.
Yeah, it's very heartening to note, because when we conducted the interview with Director General Daniel Ma, Dr. Daniel Ma, he also mentioned that one of his aims is to have a trading academy for Labuan IBFC. He's also very much committed to talent development and making sure there's enough talent pipeline. Because at the end of the day, we are a services industry, and it's important that our people are trained up to international standards. It will go amiss for us not to talk a little bit about COVID-19. How do you think your members have fared thus far during the restricted movement? And how do you think the projection for the growth of the industry will be for 2020?
Now, during the MCOs or the COVID-19 restrictions movement, most of the established trust companies has initiated their business continuity plan, in which their IT infrastructures can allow them to move the staff from the office back to their house and to work from home. This has actually not interrupted the operations of the trust company much, and we are happy that most of the established trust company continue to service their client. But only a few of the new one and those small one may not have those infrastructures that support the VPNs and so on to have access to their office server. But moving forward, I will encourage all the trust companies to have this type of business continuity plan, whereby the staff can work from home and access their computer. And of course, the economic substance requirement require us to have a meeting, a management control in Labuan, but that is only possibly once or 2 times a year. But the rest of the time, the Labuan company can still be operated. The board of directors meeting can still be held via Zoom, via Teams, and so on. So I think Labuan is actually very suitable for this type of businesses, international businesses, and we are happy that we are ready for this type of services. And this COVID-19 actually have tested us whether this work or not. It actually works. And moving forward, because of the infrastructure that we have with all the trust company, I think we should not have any problem moving forward. Business should be okay, and with the economic substance requirement already certain, and I'm very certain that business will be good moving forward.
Yeah, it's true, and also not to mitigate or dilute the provisions allowed, the regulatory reliefs allowed by Labuan FSA has also helped. So I mean, we stand to grow regardless of what happens. Hopefully.
What I would like to suggest is that the FSA also improves their IT infrastructures, whereby they can accept a soft copy of all the documents, possibly implement something like digital signature. I think that we have already, I think the Malaysia already have Digital Signature Act, and we should make full use of it in our type of business. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. Makes complete sense. Just on a more personal note, before we end this conversation, I wanted to just ask you, what are your aspirations for the association, your aspirations for the jurisdiction, and how you would like to see it grow?
As far as association is concerned, I think the membership has already grown, and the thing is that we want to do is, of course, just I've mentioned just now, is to provide more training to the members' staffs. That is one of the things that we want to do. And of course, with the amendment to the Constitution, where disciplinary action can be taken against member, I hope that this will in fact bring the members in line with what we're doing, especially business ethics and so on, and also that they should improve their professionalisms and talent within their firm. Now, I have been in Labuan since 1990. As far as the trust company business is concerned, so it's 30 years. Yes. I am intending to impart part of my business experience to the younger generations. Of course, my own company are already trying to train up my children to take over, and but I think industry-wide, the training for the staffs and so on of the trust company, there's still no experienced speakers or trainers to train them up. And maybe after I retired, then I can start doing this type of training for them. Okay?
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. I think other jurisdictions are very focused on this business as a huge economic contributor. Labuan is being part of Malaysia. We lack more domestic talent, definitely, and so we look forward to your contribution in the future. And thank you so much for spending some time with us. All the best with everything else, and I hope to see you soon, Dato'. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.